everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been making a lot of changes on how I apply my makeup, and over the last few months I've had so many of you guys ask me, what are you doing differently? You always look so much more youthful. And I think they try, like I've had some comments say, I'm not trying to be mean, but whatever you're doing now, you look much younger than you did like last month or, you know, several videos back. I have made quite a few changes in just my overall application of makeup, and it's really, in my opinion, made a difference. I feel like less is more when you're applying makeup when you get older, and because I recently turned 40, I am trying to calm down some of the things that I was doing that might have been just too much for my aging skin. So I've had so many of you guys ask me to share some of those tips with you. I have 10 tips that I feel like has made the most difference when it comes to the way I apply my makeup versus the way I applied it, you know, 4 or 5 months ago. Number one, I would say, is going in with my Hollywood Falls filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, the reason why I do it before I go in with my foundation is because it gives that youthful glow from within. And so especially for somebody that struggles getting that natural glow, because I have so many people ask me, how do you get your skin to have such a natural glow? And it's truthfully been like my skincare regimen over the last 7 years that has really given me that natural glow. If you're working on achieving that natural glow through your skincare regimen, but you want to kind of speed up the process and you want to have some sort of glowing skin, now, I started using this back in August of last year, and I've not stopped. Like, the only time that I don't wear this is when I'm testing out a new foundation, just because I don't want it to affect my review on the foundation. This product, in my opinion, is my all-time favorite. This is one of those that I cannot live without, and I have it on backup. I love to put it all over my face, blend it out, and then go in with my foundation, and it just looks so youthful and so glowy. Now, I know that this is a very expensive product. There are other products out on the market. At the drugstore, I'm currently testing one that I think is a really, really good alternative. But there's tons of those natural liquid glowing products that you can buy at the drugstore, and you can wear it underneath your foundation and just give that extra youthful look from within. So I highly recommend a product like this before going in with your foundation. Number two is I have stopped using as much foundation. So if you go back to my videos, even 6 months ago, I was using quite a bit of foundation, and the way that I was applying it was kind of like stamping it in, and then I would go over and really press it in with a beauty sponge. The problem with that is that it's just too much, and as you age, less is more. So the change that I made was just using way less, and right now I'm testing out the Tom Ford Soleil foundation. So that is what you're seeing me apply right now, but applying a thin layer all over the skin, and then this brush has made the biggest difference when it comes to applying my foundation. I am in love with this brush. I am absolutely, unequivocally in love with this brush. I've had this brush probably 6 years now, possibly longer, but it's just the perfect size, and it's wispy on the end, and it's just a really nice brush to really give that thin layer. So my suggestion to you is just apply one thin, even layer all over your face. Don't go in heavy. Don't go with too much foundation. Like, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are young, and they really use a lot of foundation. And unless you have a lot of scarring or a lot of hyperpigmentation, I don't see the need as we age to wear that much thick foundation. So try going in with a thin layer, and then you can build where you need it. For example, you can see my hyperpigmentation is coming through, but that's okay. Like, I'm not asking for a perfect canvas, and I really don't want a perfect canvas, because once you get that, it just looks fake, you know? So less is more when it comes to applying your foundation. Start out with a tiny bit. When I go through some of my foundation review videos like 5-6 months ago, I was using like 3 pumps of foundation, and you guys, that's a lot. That is way too much foundation for my skin. And so That, in my opinion, has definitely made a huge difference in the way that my skin looks. Apply a nice, even thin layer of foundation all over your skin. And let's just say that you have areas where you want covered, say that you're having a breakout, spot conceal. Find a concealer that matches your skin shade, matches your foundation, but has a little bit more pigment, and use the concealer. And you can use this end of the brush for a concealer, and just go in and spot conceal versus putting, you know, a thick layer. Let's just say that you have 2 pimples right here. There's no reason to put a thick layer of foundation all over this area just to cover those 2 pimples. So just think about it. I kind of thought that there was no way I could just use 1 pump of foundation. Like, I thought that was just absolutely ridiculous. But now that I have done it, it looks healthier, and it seems like when I was packing the foundation on, it would be thick. And by the end, like midday, you could kind of see it starting to crease, which is the number 1 reason why foundations crease, is that sometimes you get too much in those areas. So I recommend just applying a little bit less. Try a little bit and then work your way up. I love it now. Like, I can never go back to using 3 pumps of foundation. Like, it almost makes me want to cringe thinking about it. Ugh. Number 4 is my concealer. So again, I love wearing a hydrating concealer. You guys have heard me talk about this 1,000 times. You guys know I love my Tarte Creaseless Concealer. No matter what concealer you're using, I used to pack a lot on, and then I would use my sponge to kind of blend it into my skin. The problem with that is I was using way too much concealer, and I was depending on my sponge to pick up the extra amount that I wasn't using, which doesn't make sense because that's just a total waste. I like to apply my concealers down here in this area, but I don't want a thick glob of concealer in that area. So the way I like to do it is I like to wipe off my wand. So I basically wipe off all of the concealer off of the wand, just like you would with your mascara. So then I'm able to come down and bring it where I need it, but then I will use my finger to blend it out. But if you're somebody that only needs those few dots, that's totally fine. Try blending it out with your finger and kind of using the warmth of your finger to blend it into your skin. You guys, there's something magical about the warmth of your hands when it comes to applying your foundation and your concealer. Sometimes I will kind of use my fingers to kind of blend out my foundation. I love this brush though. The brush is amazing. But then I will take the tip of it, and if I need to, I can go up in there and kind of, you know, make sure that I pick up any extra product that might be sitting in the creases. But less is more when it comes to concealer. And if you're like me and you need to bring it down, because I do like my concealer to come down in this area, you can totally do it. Just wipe off the applicator first and then go in, and it will make the biggest difference. I also really love this concealer brush to go up in there and, you know, bring some of your extra concealer, bring it around, and you can use it as your eyeshadow base. But I highly recommend applying your concealer with your finger. It just melts it into the skin, and you're not going to be going through your concealer as much because you're just not going to be using as much. Number 5 is my holy grail, another product from Charlotte Tilbury that I cannot live without, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. This powder literally makes your skin look airbrushed. It wipes wrinkles away. It's unbelievable how well it works. You can see the difference between these two sides. It is flawless. It looks so beautiful on the skin. It's such a finely milled powder that you only need a little bit, and you just go over this part of your face. I did not understand how to use this. Like, I've heard YouTubers say, oh, I just use, you know, a sponge, and I've tried that and it worked. But once I found the right brush, now this is a natural haired brush from Sonia G, you can just sweep it just right over those pores area, and it will literally just wipe everything away. It just gives you a nice smooth canvas. It looks beautiful over wrinkles. It looks beautiful over pores. If you're somebody that has that creeping skin going on right here, I highly recommend taking this powder and going over that area, and you will see an instant difference. Like, this stuff is magical. It's so finely milled. It's one reason why I'm really excited about the foundation. I'm curious how it's going to perform, but this is a phenomenal powder, and I cannot say enough great things about it. I recommend buying it and trying it. If you don't like it, you can always return it to Sephora. I recommend trying it though, because it is so amazing, especially for you mature women out there who are over 40 and you are starting to get those little creeping wrinkly skin, and it's hard to not get it. You know, it's such a delicate skin and it starts to thin out, and so as you age, your skin gets thinner and it becomes a little bit creepy. So I recommend this powder for this. I recommend it over pores. It just looks stunning. It's my favorite finishing powder. I absolutely love it. Next up is applying my blush. Now, I remember, you know, several months ago, I would get comments of people like, oh my gosh, you wear way too much blush, or you look like a clown. You've got to stop wearing so much blush. And don't get me wrong, through the lights, my blush definitely is more dramatic than it is in real life. But I was wearing too much blush, and I had to finally say, Tara, you've got to stop wearing so much blush. So now I don't wear as much blush, and I lightly, as you'll see in the video, I lightly apply it right here on the apples of my cheeks. Now, some people don't like to bring their blush in, and that's totally fine. I do. I feel like if I bring it in just a little bit right here, it gives me a little bit of structure because I have such high cheekbones. And I mean, you'll notice my cheekbones are really high. And so it seems like if I only put blush here, it's like this is just too blank. So for me personally, I like to have a little bit of color, like a pop of color here. But I am finally over the stage of wearing too much blush. And I feel like that has been such a game changer when it comes to just my overall makeup looking younger. I do think that applying too much blush will age you. You want your makeup to enhance your look, not cover. And so as I've aged, I've had to understand that. I've had to make changes that I don't need to cover up my hyperpigmentation. I don't need to wear thick, crazy foundation to just make my skin a solid mask like the Instagrammers have. I'm okay with my hyperpigmentation. We have to be okay with our flaws. As we age, you have to change the mindset of makeup is not to cover up. It is to enhance your natural beauty. And once you understand that, it will change how you apply your makeup. Less is more as you age. Next up is this palette from Hourglass. You guys, I have had this palette for almost 2 years. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. And I have not hit pan on these 3 shades yet. And as you will see in the video, I take my brush and I go through all 3 of the shades and I apply it all over my face. It gives such a glow, but it's a soft, subtle glow to the skin. It is a game changer, and I know that this palette is very expensive. The reason why I spoke about how long I've had it is because I use it pretty much every single day. The only time I don't use it is when I'm not wearing makeup. So I've gotten a lot of use out of it. In my opinion, it's been worth every single penny because I'm thinking it's gonna probably last me another year. I don't know, maybe even longer, because I'm probably starting to get hit pan a little bit here, but not very much. So this palette will go a really, really long way, and it's just so perfect, you guys. It is so perfect to just enhance and just give your skin that natural all over glow. See all this glowiness? That is from this. Like, it is so beautiful. This is a secret weapon when it comes to, you know, just a youthful makeup look. So if you are somebody that's older, you want that all over glow, but you don't want to put highlighter all over the face, oh my gosh. This will be worth every penny, I can promise you that. I like using a long wispy brush like this. This is the Luxe 514 brush, and it has long wispy hairs, and it is so nice to pick up the product, and it places it all over the skin versus just in one direct area. It's wispy enough to kind of just go all over versus too direct. This is a nice brush to apply this product with, but I can't recommend this enough for you aging women. Like, this is a game changer. Next up is how I've been applying my eyeshadow. I've calmed down on, you know, my eyeshadow being so dramatic, and I feel like as I've aged, I don't have to have these really, really like cut crease type of eyeshadow looks that, You know, there's so many YouTubers out there that are doing them. There's so many great tutorials out there that are so much better than mine. So for me, I would say my number one thing is less is more on my eyeshadow. So when I'm applying my eyeshadow, I don't use as much and I don't go really dark. If I do go really dark, it's around the outer corners. I do not bring any dark on the inner corner. It seems like the inner corner, if you put something light, so for example, as you will see in this tutorial, I went ahead and used the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, just a cream eyeshadow. I was also using the Nude Sticks matte eye color in the shade Fig, but I used that to kind of just draw that line and that outer V and just really blended it out. Whatever eyeshadow I put on the inner corner, which this one was from the KKW Beauty Classic palette, I grabbed this shade right here and I put that on the inner corner, but what I do is I bring it in just a little bit and it will really open up that eye and give that inner corner such a youthful look. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a like dark smoky eye once in a while. The bold looks ages me, and so I had to kind of pull away from doing any of those really, really bold looks because I noticed that it was really aging, especially through here. So less is more again when I'm applying my eyeshadow, and I make sure that whatever I use as far as my inner corner, I love to take whatever product it is and bring it down into here in the lower lash line, and I also like bringing it up into here. It just really opens up the eye. So I have my inner corner highlight down in here, which really just pops, and I feel like that has really made a difference when it comes to just my overall look. The other thing is not wearing false lashes. So if you go back, I've probably stopped wearing false lashes. I would say probably the end of March. I have been using an Eyelash Growth Serum and they finally just started sprouting, and they're long enough now to where I don't need to wear false lashes, and I have no desire to wear them. And don't get me wrong, I love the way they look, but the thick, heavy ones, I've never been able to wear the thick, heavy ones. Thick, heavy eyelashes have always aged me, and I've never been able to wear the Lily lashes, the Miamis, like I see all these YouTubers wearing those. Oh, no, 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 no. I can't wear those. They're way too heavy for me, and they definitely age me because I feel like it looks like I'm trying too hard. You know, I want my makeup to look youthful, and when I put too much lashes on, it's just too much. And I feel like using your natural beauty, again, enhancing your natural features. And I feel like now that I have my eyelashes growing out, just putting mascara on and just having my natural lashes be kind of the star of the show, that is so much more youthful than applying these thick, heavy false lashes. Now, once in a while, I will wear a false pair of lashes. We'll see how it goes. But for the most part, you know, when all of my makeup routine started to change, that was the one thing that I felt like really made a big difference, is just taking off the heavy false lashes and allowing my real lashes to just be what they are. But I feel like that makes a really big difference. So number 10, I would say, is applying a nude eyeliner on the lower lash line. So I do put a brown or black eyeliner up here on the upper waterline. It just allows your real lashes to look a little bit thicker. I got in the habit of doing that when I was wearing false lashes. It just kind of gets rid of that skin. But now that I'm not wearing false lashes, it's even more important for me to put a brown or black on that upper waterline, just to make my lashes look and appear to be thicker and fuller. Putting a nude eyeliner on the lower lash line wakens your eyes. Like, it just makes your eyes pop. If you had a rough night and you were up all night and you need your eyes to be awake, I highly recommend using a nude liner on your waterline on the lower lash line. It just makes such a big difference. Now, I don't do that on a daily basis, but I will do it on those days where I'm exhausted and I know I only had like 5 hours of sleep and my eyes are going to show. Because I know if you're like me, now that we have aged, if you are on lack of sleep, it will show much more than it ever did when you were in your 20s and 30s. I've noticed that the last year, if I slack on my sleep, I have the worst bags, and I never used to do that. If you're having that issue, put a nude eyeliner right there in your waterline and it'll make the biggest difference. So that's it. Those are my 10 tips and the changes that I have personally made in my makeup routine over the last few months, and those are the things that I have changed that you guys have noticed. And I mean, the comments have been overwhelming. When I first started doing all of this, I don't get the comments as much, but when I switched, I had so many comments. Oh my gosh, what are you doing differently? Did you change your skincare? Did you, like, people could not understand. I actually had somebody ask me if I had like a chemical peel done, because they couldn't understand why all of a sudden I looked so much younger than I did, you know, just like a month prior. They were like, wait, what did she do? Did she get like a facelift? We didn't know about it. So those are the changes that I have made, and I feel like they've made a really big difference. I hope that these tips were helpful for you guys, and maybe you can implement a few of them in your makeup routine. And let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any makeup tips to help you guys achieve a more youthful, healthier looking makeup look. If you guys have tips to share, definitely let us know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love you all so much. Don't forget to head over to my Instagram. I don't ever talk about my Instagram, but I really need to start building my Instagram. So head over to my Instagram and start following me there. I'm going to really do a good job at being better at Instagram. I just have to keep reminding myself. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.